Sir, in light of that slaughter that took place on Saturday.
There's no slaughter, my friend.
It's not a slaughter?
No slaughter. What happened is a self-defense.
All the problems in the Middle East, it's Hamas, it's Hezbollah, ISIS, Taliban. This is what it is, okay? Rid the Middle East of radical Islam. Radical Islam is not the same as Islam, the peaceful religion. Thank you.
Throughout history, Iranians have always been supporters of Jews across the world. What we have right now in the last 40 and some years that happened after the Iranian Revolution with the Islamic regime coming to Iran, they're funding the Hamas, they're funding Hezbollah of Lebanon. That doesn't mean that Iranians are against Israel or against Jews. We're out here today to just show our support as Iranians to the Jewish community, to the Israelis across the world, and to just tell them that know that Iranians love you, we care about you. It's unfortunate a government who's funding the terrorism that's happening across the world.
David Menzies for Rebel News here in Toronto. Well, folks, I'm standing outside Lastman Square. That's where an event is taking place. Canada Stands with Israel. And as you can see, there are thousands of people gathered. They're now marching north on Yonge Street. And, I couldn't help but notice some of the speakers tonight. There was Fraulein Freeland. She was here. I hope she didn't bring along a Waffen SS Nazi. Also, Yara Sachs, the one who says that honking your horn twice is an acronym for Heil Hitler. Gee, I hope she wasn't down at Nathan Phillips Square earlier today. I was there. A lot of Palestinian supporters honking their horn twice. Do you think that meant Heil Hitler? Gee, I don't know. And then, of course, there was Olivia Chow, Mayor of Toronto. She says she stands unequivocally with Israel. But that's tonight. Let's see what she says in the days and weeks ahead. In any event, let's see what some of the people gathered here have to say about this event. And most importantly, what Israel has to do in the aftermath of that horrific terrorist attack last Saturday. What brought you and your lovely family out to this event tonight?
We really feel that we have to do everything we can do to be with Israel. Our heart is in Israel. We are Israel citizens. We came just for 2 years to live in Toronto.
Oh, yes.
And all my family is in the army now, and all our thoughts is only there. And we feel everybody, the whole world should know that everybody should be with Israel.
The fact that we all need to come together, the unity of the Jews all in one is super important, especially during this time. I have a lot of family and friends currently deployed, fearing for their lives, so just there's nothing louder. One voice alone is one thing, but multiple voices together makes a louder roar. So it's important to all be together at this time for sure.
Jewish people around the world are shocked and horrified by what I saw on the camera. History teaches us over and over again that unity amongst the Jewish people is what will keep us strong and what will help Am Yisrael. And that's what brought me out here today, because when we're united in prayer and we show solidarity, obviously nothing can conquer us in that route. And the Jewish people in Israel need to know that the diaspora Jews are with them. They're in our thoughts and our prayers. And then we wanted them to know that and see that not only in thought, but in action.
Guys, I couldn't help but notice your flag. You must be Persian, I take it?
Yes, sir.
And what makes you come out to this demonstration? I guess you must have some insight in terms of it is Iran that is funding Hamas. Iran is the...
I just want to correct you. It's Islamic regime in Iran, not the Iranians. To give you some context, through history, from 2,500 years ago to today, from Cyrus the Great onwards, throughout history, Iranians have always been supporters of Jews across the world. What we have right now in the last 40 and some years that happened after the Iranian Revolution with the Islamic regime coming to Iran, they're funding the Hamas, they're funding Hezbollah of Lebanon. That doesn't mean that Iranians are against Israel or against Jews. We're out here today to just show our support as Iranians to the Jewish community, to the Israelis across the world, and to just tell them that know that Iranians love you. We care about you. It's unfortunate a government who's funding the terrorism that's happening across the world.
The Iranian regime is the biggest backer of terrorism groups around the world. What do you think will need to be done in order to have regime change in your home country?
I think the first step would be supporting Iranians who are fighting against terrorism across the world. Putting putting Argents on a terrorist list, and really just giving the Iranians what they're asking for through. I'm sure if you're Canadian, if you're living in Toronto, you have seen Iranians parading across the street for the last year and a bit. We are fighting against our regime. Our regime is killing our own people within Iran right now. And we fight the same fight that Israelis and Jews are fighting in Israel right now, with Hamas being Iranian agents in the region. So really, I guess the first step would be for the Western countries, for Canada specifically, to recognize RGC as a terrorist organization, really supporting Iranians and listen to what they're asking for. There are Iranians that are funded by the regime in Iran living in Canada right now, comfortable moving around. They've embezzled money from Iran, bringing it here and spending it. There's nothing done against them. The government knows it. They're not doing anything. And I think the first step would just really listening to Iranians who are in Canada and in Iran and supporting them.
Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free!
Just 5 hours ago at Nathan Phillips Square, there was a massive pro-Hamas demonstration right here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
I was devastated even to hear about it and know that it's happened, by the way, in New York and in other big cities. But in Toronto, it's painful. It's painful.
I can't understand how someone can think that they're just justice with them. It's like crazy what they did to all families in the south in Israel. People should just look at the pictures and see what's going on there.
I think it's terrible that anyone, regardless of religion, race, ethnicity, culture, geographical location, if you're going to actively celebrate the death of other human beings, then something's clearly wrong. The Palestinians, they definitely have something to be angry about for sure, as it relates to Hamas and like being under that rule of that governing body and whatnot. And that obviously comes with a whole slew of things, but just seeing that, there was nothing sort of that happened to the Palestinians at the point of that protest. It just kind of, they were celebrating the fact that they had a win, and that win was that, multiple Jews died and kidnapped and raped and all these different horrible, atrocious things. And so I think it was just a bad thing that they came out during that time. If there was something bad that happened to them, then I can understand, but you can't celebrate that. You can't go into the streets and rally and be happy about the fact that anyone died, really.
I would tell the local, provincial, and federal politicians, if you truly stand with the Jewish people, to allow these rallies of hatred to take place is disgusting and appalling. They are supporting kidnapping. These rallies support rapes. These rallies support murder of innocent people. It's nice to say that you support the Jewish people, but when you allow a rally like this to happen, this is no support. This is no sign of support. It's as if they're showing up to a funeral and mocking us and laughing at us and showing support for a group that's a clear terrorist group as well. Not only to allow these rallies, but to continue funding Hamas terrorists through UNRWA needs to end, because this money does not go to humanitarian aid nor building of schools. It goes to weapons, to planning, to sophisticated technology, how they breached our southern border. You need to end the funding, and you need to end these rallies in support of people that are sworn to the destruction of the Jewish people. That is the truest support that we can do. Obviously, I'm not in the government. I'm not making any political policies. All I will say is Hamas is a clear terrorist group, and anyone that supports them should be investigated, because they are a criminal and terrorist entity that has no place in a peaceful, democratic society. The images we saw of Jews running in fields, running away while being shot, while Jews were sitting in their homes getting ripped out, Holocaust survivors, women and children. The savagery is difficult to comprehend. We say that the Jewish people are united, one person, like one heart, in the service of God. But unfortunately, our enemies are united only in hatred. Whether, it's Hamas and Iran have their differences elsewhere, in the hatred of the Jewish people, they are completely united with a clear vision of destruction of the Jewish people, specifically the Jewish state.
This is anti-Semitism at its finest, people. This is all that it's about. They hate the Jews, and there's no other reason for this. Okay, do we understand that? They hate the Jews. They've made it clear they don't want us there, okay? And this is not justifiable resistance. We don't celebrate when Palestinians die. We don't celebrate when innocent women and kids are dying, okay? This is war. This is no reason to celebrate right now. This is not justifiable resistance, okay? This is no way in shape or form justifiable resistance. You don't take women and kids that are innocent civilians and rape them on the street.
Well, I think it's disgusting that they would even have the audacity to show their face after what Hamas and the rest of those people did. I mean, it's just makes me sick, is what it is.
People need to understand that it's not Palestinians per se that are doing this. It's Hamas that's being funded. It's not a war between Jews or Muslim or Israelis or Palestinians. It's a war between Hamas, a terrorist group funded by the Islamic regime in Iran, against Israelis, and not just that, against Iranians within Iran as well. So we want to call it proxy war. You want to call it direct war funded by the Iranian regime. You can put as many names as you like on that, but at the end of the day, as long as we like to say the head of snake in Iran is there, it is going to go on. It's going to continue happening. Again, Iranian people are fighting it as much as possible. They're dying day in, day out. And I think at this point, all we ask for is just for Canadians, for Americans, for anyone in the Western countries that honestly watches the news and all they hear is Iranian parliament chanting death to America or Israel, know that that's not Iranian people in Iran doing it. That's just Islamic regime. It's a minority within Iran. And they have the power, unfortunately, and the money to do what they're doing right now.
You know, certainly the Shah of Iran, he was no Boy Scout, but given the revolution of 79, I would imagine, is it safe to say that most Iranians in Iran have buyer's remorse for that revolution and bringing in the...
Truth be told, funny enough, my mom's grandma, his son was someone that fought against the Shah's regime back in the day, and he actually died under torture. My mom's grandma, to this day, the main thing that she says is that, I wish the Shah never went, and Shah is still in Iran. And her son died in the whole thing, right? So absolutely something that goes across the world, across the board in Iran, no matter what city you are, no matter what background you have, and what political thoughts you have. It's knowing that we went from an era of progress and improvements and really getting where we're supposed to be to a situation that this radical Islamists in Iran in the regime are really taking us back years and years and years, and hence ruining the region as well.
Hi, sir. Hi, sir.
I'm not here. I am not here to swear at nobody. I'm not here to swear at nobody or show you my bad side. You guys, the true color is showing off. Look at that. Get the cameras there. They're giving the finger and they're swearing at us. That's what it is. We're here to support the freedom of the country of Palestine. We're here to support Palestine, okay? Since 48, you guys moved. Everyone moved from the States, from Brooklyn, from New York, all right, to the return of your country. You have no country, my friend. All Jewish people are our brothers. We love Jewish people because the true Jews, they know they do not have a land or a state of Israel. They know they are not, no such thing as a state of Israel. They were happy. Everybody was happy together, living together. Jewish people, Muslim people, Christian people, no problem. And then Israel decides to make a state of their own by killing innocent people and kicking them out of their own homes. That's it. That's all.
But sir, in light of that slaughter that took place on Saturday...
It's no slaughter, my friend.
It's not a slaughter?
No slaughter. What happened is a self-defense. People are trying to get out of the open-air prison that they're open. I will shake your hand, no problem, brother. I have nothing against you. You personally have nothing against. I have a problem against Zionism, not the state of Israel, not Jewish people. No, never. Jewish people, I have very good friends of mine that they're Jewish people. No,
but sir, a lot of people here are in mourning, they're in pain. For you to be flashing this flag there, are you trying to instigate something?
No, I feel sorry for the innocent people who dies on both sides every single day. But I do not feel sorry for people who support the Zionism, and the people who kill people every day for no reason and walk in to take their homes. That's it.
But sir, given what happened on Saturday, who wins? Because I look at
Nobody's winning, my friend.
Well, that's the thing.
The only time that people are gonna win is when Israel steps down and leaves the land of Palestine free and for all. That's it. They're more than welcome to be anywhere in the world and stand anywhere, all right? But there is no such thing as the state of Israel. And we all know that. Since 1948, know the history, believe and understand the history of everything, and then you guys will understand what I'm talking about.
So you're not interested in a two-state solution, it's a one state and it's the Palestinian state.
Is the state of Palestine is the only state in that area. This is the solution.
That seems like a hardcore stance, I mean, but that can't happen.
There's no such thing as the state of Israel. There's no such thing as killing innocent people every single day in Palestine for no reason.
Sir, Hamas has been deemed a terrorist organization by the...
I don't care about Hamas. I don't care about no terrorist organization. I'm here to support the state of Palestine and the Palestinian innocent people. I'm not here to support anybody else. It's pure human right. That's it.
But it was Hamas that carried out this massacre.
Hamas. I don't care about the terrorist people. I have nothing to do with them. I don't care about them. It has nothing to do with me. I'm here to support the innocent human rights of people that are getting killed every single day and getting kicked out of their home. That's it.
Sir, I'm not an ambassador by any means, but the idea of there not being a Jewish state anymore, that's not realistic.
There's no such thing as a religion state, my friend. Let's be real. There's no such thing as a Muslim state or a Jewish state or a Christian state. What are you guys talking about?
No, I'm just saying the very idea of the state of Israel not existing anymore, how is that realistic?
Since when was the state of Israel a state? 1948?
Okay, but
when the Jewish people decided to have their own state based on a religion, when the real Jewish people don't even believe in that state. What are you guys talking about? The real Jewish people do not believe of the state of Israel themselves. Talk to the real Jews. They are my friends. I know who they are.
Do you think pro-Israeli people living in Canada, should they be targeted by Hamas sympathizers?
I don't care. I can't answer that. That's a terrorist organization. That's nothing to do with me. That has nothing to do with me. No idea.
All right.
I'm here for the human rights. I'm here for the innocent kids and women and people dying every single day at their own land and their own home. All right, I'm not here to support no organization. I'm not here to support no innocent people dying every single day.
Thank you for your time, sir.
No problem. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Your mother was free, and so was your mother. And your mother was free. And your mother was free.
He basically said the solution is for the state of Israel not to exist anymore. Is that in anyone's universe realistic?
Sorry. No, absolutely not.
What do you have to say about that statement?
Well, they know where they can go.
And sir,
that's exactly what the Nazis propaganda used to be, right? For the Jews not to exist. In the 21st century, it's time for that not to be in our world. The hatred. It's time for the world to see what the United, like the Israel used to say for so many years, that the hatred come from them, to come and kidnap with cold blood, to murder children, women, whoever, and just film it and publish it? What kind of animal should you be? Of course they don't want for anyone to exist, only themselves. So they are the next Nazis.
Hamas beheads your own gay people, shit people.
Taking kids and putting them in cages. You.
Disgusting. Be ashamed of yourself. Disgusting. This is not justifiable resistance.
Hi, ma'am. I was speaking to that individual earlier, and he said the solution is simply for the state of Israel not to exist. I don't know how that's a doable solution in any universe.
Thank you so much. This proves our point that this is not about just land. This is not about resistance. They want to make sure that Israel does not exist. They want to eliminate Jews. This is what it's about. This is racism and discrimination.
And ma'am, he said to me that real Jews do not support the state of Israel.
That's not true. That's not true. All Jews support the state of Israel. Thank you very much. You know what would happen if we let them all in? There would be not one Jew left standing because they want us dead. This is what it's about. It's anti-Semitism. And people, we're seeing that here in Canada, the most multicultural city, okay? In all of Canada, we're seeing this right now, okay? This is anti-Semitism. This is, everything else is bullshit. rhetoric. They don't want Jews to exist. That's it, people. They do not want the Jewish people to exist, okay?
In light of the horror that we witnessed on Saturday in Israel, what does the state of Israel have to do in terms of seeking justice?
Look, I'm not a representative of the government of Israel and army. I'm following the news. It's probably each of us. But I believe they will come to the decision that will change really all kind of environment which happened over the last years, which created this repeated attacks to Israel. I don't know what should be done, how should be done, but it should have been stopped long ago. It's what I know.
That's a hard question. I don't know, but to do all they can do to fulfill the Jewish people in Israel.
In any war, you don't really want winners and losers. You kind of just want there to be no casualties. You want there to be peace. But I think as it relates to the whole historic aspect of the region, it's like Jews obviously have a very, very strong claim to the land, and Palestinians as well, like in some capacity. So it's like, if we can all just come together and be peaceful, everything will be fine. But the problem is that with wars, there are winners and losers, and that's the unfortunate fact. So, to say who will be the winner or who, or anything like that, it's hard to say. But I really just hope that Israel, just is able to take out Hamas. That's the only thing, without hurting the Palestinian people. And just really take out Hamas, and that's it. And if they're able to do that, then that is a win, right? Because, back before 2005, Israel was actually the ones that governed the Gaza Strip, and they pulled out as a peace treaty and said, here, you guys govern yourselves in this strip. And that turned into Gaza the Hamas coming into power, which then from there, Hamas became a terrorist, entity, and the whole slew of issues came out of that.
Unfortunately, right now, I don't think that there is any good solution to that situation. Israel has all the right to defend themselves, and they should use all the force that they have for that not to happen ever again. And whatever means it will take, they should use all their means for that.
We need to get rid of Hamas. As you can see, we have a lot of Iranian supporters here, a lot of Persians, a lot of Muslims. People are sick of radical Islam, okay? That is what's driving all the problems in the Middle East. It's Hamas, it's Hezbollah, ISIS, Taliban. This is what it is, okay? Rid the Middle East of radical Islam. Radical Islam is not the same as Islam, the peaceful religion. Thank you.
Folks, are you as horrified as just about everyone in terms of what happened in Israel last weekend? Well, if you are, please sign our petition. That's CanadaStandsWithIsrael.com. CanadaStandsWithIsrael.com. Put your name on that petition and take a stance for civilization.